Well, hello everyone. I am back for another session of From Sketch to Metaverse. This is a sketch that I have been working on. Hopefully you guys can hear me, and let me see if my little background copyright-free music will work. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear. I was messing around with the levels on that for a bit of it. So if you're new here, I am just going to go over my current project, showcase some of the tools I'm going to use for today, Illustrator and Blender, and then just dive in to show you my process. And this is for an upcoming show, and I'm just working on the process right now and on the ideas for it. Hopefully this will be put into a metaverse as well. It's the title, From Sketch to Metaverse, but right now it's in the, I always start with paper and pencil, so let's just dive on in. Okay, so here's the original sketch. Hopefully it is actually going to show you guys on here. I know it's a few seconds late. I'm checking right now on the screen to see. Oh yeah, it's working, right? Okay, so all of my art begins with paper and pencil, and there is here, hold on a second. There we go. Here is the little sketch that I'm working with to start. And now I'm going to show you what I have so far. So what I like to do is I like to bring things into Illustrator, vectorize them, and then from here I can bring it into different places like After Effects or Blender. And for this one I'm just going to bring it into Blender, but I have a couple ideas of what I want to do with it, but I'm just going to do this here. I'm actually going to post that I'm live right now. Let's see, how do I do that? I don't even know how to do that. Let's see if I can open up another window to see if let's see. YouTube, I don't know if it's going to be all weird, and there it had some weird audio, and see if it's actually, let me go to my channel. Oh, it is showing that I'm live. Cool. One watching right now. Okay, it is showing. Let me see if I play it. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can share this to Twitter real quick for everybody. And if you guys are watching and want to share it to anybody, that would be awesome. But I probably should have done this before I started. Join me live streaming right now from Sketch to Metaverse series. Let's see if anybody will join me from that. See if it shows up correctly. Let's see if it opens it up to the right place. From that. Yeah, it is. Cool. Well, let's see if anybody joins me from that. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is show you what I've done so far. And again, I will, yeah, this guy's locked, so I can't mess him up. I'll show you there. I'm going to lock him. I'll, bring a sketch, bring it into Illustrator, and then start working on the layers. So here is, there you go. So this is what I have so far. So right now, I usually come in here and I start working on different sections. So what I've been doing is yesterday was playing with like the foot part right here. And it's a lot of fun playing with the gradients and trying to figure out what you want to pop out, stuff like that. So I think up here I'm going to be messing around more with this like cloud section. So let's just add a little section real quick, and then we're going to bring this guy into Blender. So I'm going to grab, usually I like to lock everything out so I don't mess up any of the layers, and since I have so many layers here, I like to keep it separate. So right now let's work on this little guy. And it's not like exact, it's just like, this is kind of like my rough outline, what I want to do. But I do want to mess around in Blender, so it's nice just to have the shapes, and I'll have to redo like the textures and all that kind of stuff. But so let's move this guy down because I want him to be kind of underneath. There we go. Use the eyedropper, maybe choose a cool color. And now I kind of want to do the inside one, so I'll just trace that as well. So what I like to do is this process first, and then during this process I get like ideas of kind of what I want to do. Let's say if I'm going to animate it or what I'm going to do with it. And what I like to do is create like a keep like a Notion doc that has ideas that I get. And let's see, let's grab that. It has like a little eyeball there. Let's add a little eye. So there's a little eye, and you can obviously eyedropper tool, change the color to whatever you want. Maybe to, let's see, maybe not the same color as that, but since it's going to be overlaid anyway, so might look kind of cool. So I'm going to select, let's say this color, because it'll kind of pop out a little more. Okay, that's just to give you a little overview basics of how I kind of go through this whole process. And then it's really fun to also, of course, here, let me unlock some of these. Okay, so let's go gradients. I love playing with the gradients. And I try to make everything separate elements, so if I do want to bring it into someplace like After Effects, then I can start messing around with the animation of it. I want him to like move and his tail to like flutter about. Might add some flutter tails to them or make them really longer. So let's see what we can do. Let's add a little bit of a tail. Lock all these guys out. Oh, actually gradient. Let's just talk a little bit about gradient. Well, let's create a new tail and make it a gradient. I think that would be a lot of fun. So, and I should be, I'll call it tail. It's a good habit that I forget to do is to label your stuff. So let's go down here. Maybe he can have like another like big feathers here, or maybe another kind of like a parrot tail feather. First off, I'm going to make my artboard a little bit bigger. So go over here to the left hand side. Just expand my artboard a little bit. I love Illustrator because you can have all these different, like, it's kind of like a Figma board. You can have all these different ideas to play with. Maybe you can play with the idea of what he's going to stand on, what's he going to be protecting. So let's go here under tail. Let's see, here I can add another section. I'm going to add maybe okay. So let's bring him down. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. He's like a bigger tail. So he'll probably need other friendlier tails to the side as well. So let's keep it all in that same layer for now and see what's going on. So for now, so if anybody who is joining us now, thank you for being here. And or maybe that's just me. I think I have the window open. It's just me watching me. But if you're new here, thanks for coming. I am actually just going over one of my upcoming my sketches that I'm doing. Here, let me zoom out so you can see what I'm working on. So it's this little bird thing. He's going to be animated, and then I'm going to bring him into Blender. But right now I'm working on, as you can see right here, the original sketch was that. And I just ding ding add all the elements that I added to it. You can see as I click on how it kind of developed over time. And it is fun to kind of record and see and to see like the process of it. I try to do OBS recordings when I can. So right now this is just from that sketch that I showed you, and then I'm adding some elements to this, and then I'm going to bring it into here. I'm going to show Blender real quick, and then I brought in another one earlier. As you can see, I'll show you guys. I'm going to bring him in here and kind of make him 3D. The gradients don't come in when you export. I exported a SVG, but it is a lot of fun to start playing around, and then from there I can always change things up and say I could do a mix with After Effects and Blender. And here are all the layers that I extruded, and I'll talk a little bit about showing that in a minute, but that is where we're headed. So let's go back in here. So I just wanted to show a little bit about the process of the Illustrator file. So from here, I'm going to add maybe another little tail feather there. It'd be kind of cool, and I'm keeping it all within right here. And if you are here, thanks for watching. Uh-oh, I don't know what just happened, but hopefully you guys can still hear me. If anybody is here watching. Okay, so let's add a little tail feather, and then I'm going to show you guys how to export this guy and bring it into Blender like I was showing you guys a minute ago. So, and again, this is for art. show that I got invited to, and it's not due for a while, but I just wanted to showcase. It's kind of fun to showcase works in progress. You can mess around with if you want it above or below. I kind of want that feather below, and then maybe this guy could be a little bit bigger. But the fun thing is you can always mess around with, you know, the colors of how you want it. And then I'm gonna add another little back tail feather there, and then I'll dive a little bit into the little gradient tool, which is a lot of fun to use. And go back in here, add the other section here. Bring it up here because I want it to be covering that part as well. Okay, so let's grab that, make it blue. Then you could play around with what position it's in right there. So right now it looks pretty cool like that. And then probably the tail feather here, I'll probably add some more feathers eventually. So, but just wanted to showcase what I have worked on so far. I think in the last videos I started showing some of this, or I was showing some of my other ones, my other creature that I was vectorizing. So right now here, maybe I kind of want to darken. Let's see, I'm going to unlock this. These I kind of want to make even a little bit darker. I think they'll look kind of cool. It's hard to tell on there. Or maybe actually change the color. Let's see if it'll look kind of cool with a different color. That looks kind of cool. Okay, so the next step that I want to talk about is showing how I bring this general concept into Blender. So I'm going to save this guy, so try to remember to save always, saved often. And another reason I'm doing this is just to showcase my process. Hopefully you guys can join me on the journey and see how I take this into a metaverse or an animated GLB, or I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be yet, but usually I'll bring it into, I can bring it into Hyperfy. Usually end up somewhere. Hyperfy is the easiest. So I'm going to select everything. And one thing, especially if you want all the different layers, you want to open up every single area. Make sure you don't have anything locked, because I tend to lock things when I'm working within one and forget to unlock it. Here, let's see here. So go through all your layers, wanting to export here. There's one right there. See? It's easy to miss one or two, because if it's locked, then it won't export. I'm gonna, when I do a select all, so I have a lot of layers. What I like to do is just like, usually I'll be watching something cool or listening to some crypto podcast or something like that, and learning about something interesting going on in the ecosystem. I don't know how many of you guys here who are watching are going to ETH Denver, but I'll be going. It should be a lot of fun. Let me close all this up. Okay, just makes it a little easier to organize, and I should probably go through and rename all of these. But maybe I'll do, this will probably be for a one-of-one NFT, and maybe I'll make an iteration on this as well. Okay, so now I'm going to grab all of these, and I'm going to do save it first. Okay, and select everything, and I do have the back layer locked, so I don't want to bring that one in. And make sure my stream settings are all looking good. Everything is looking pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to export as. So I'm going to export it as a SVG. And I'm gonna do version 2. And here is those settings that you should have for what I'm about to do. I'm gonna click OK. So now the fun part is show you how I did that part. I'm gonna turn this guy off, and we're gonna import that SVG into here. Here's so he comes in, and again, how the gradients don't work. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select it, right click, and get set origin to geometry, and then I'm gonna go into front view, rotate. Rotate. There we go. Oops. Rotate actually 180 X. I'm not doing that right. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so now I just rotated him up front. I'm gonna bring him. Okay. So now that I have him selected, you go, I'm gonna go in here real quick, and I'm going to, if you have the Alt key and you under geometry, you hit extrude, you can extrude it. And actually, let's undo that so you guys can see what happens when you do that. So I want all of it extruded, or you can do it little by little. But I'm gonna, again, you have to hit the Alt key for all of it to be extruded, so you can see it extrude all of the curves there. So now you have this fun thing to work with. So each of these layers that you saw in Illustrator are now in here. So you can start doing all sorts of kind of cool messing around with the depth. I am gonna kind of bring it apart a little bit. You guys can see how things start to pop up, because everything, you can't really see the details since it's all. I could start messing with the colors and stuff, but let me adjust this right here. Yeah, since there's so many layers on here, it looks very different than what it did in there. But it's still a lot of fun to now kind of see. And in here, I guess I could make a new, let's say, because that one was orange. We'll just make that one orange for now. So everything is separate. What it is nice if sometimes you just take it little by little and start kind of separating things. This is kind of fun. It's almost like a jigsaw puzzle you can play with. You can go from the back as well if you want to kind of like play with things. Usually I would bring in just one element, because right now it's like a little overwhelming when you're in here. But still, it's kind of fun to play with. So here's this. And definitely I want those to be different colors. But you can see the tail feather. And there are the eyes. Those were more flat, so that'd be kind of cool to bring in. So again, like all of these elements, it gets kind of fun when you start playing around with like the depth, and then if you bring it into like a metaverse, what it'll look like. Oops. Yeah. I really wish the gradients would translate. Maybe there's a way. If you guys have a way, please let me know. To have gradients, that would be really cool. But anyway, okay. So it has a long ways to go, but I just want to show you the kind of general process of it. And what's kind of fun is what I like to do is also have like variations of like the different layers of like extrusion from 2D to 3D. And like there's like a final one, extruded one, yeah. So this guy obviously, you know, he has a long ways to go. Let's bring this guy back. But okay, he's beginning to look similar somewhat. But I still think the thing is like I just love the gradients so much and look, so it makes it really hard to like. What you can do is like in After Effects, definitely want to play with that. Maybe the next video I do will be more about that. That would be a lot of fun. So since this is from Sketch to Metaverse, and since this is still very much a sketch, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make actually I'm going to make duplicate that, call this curves if I still want to mess with things. Keeps it nice. I'm going to turn that off. So all of these now I'm going to convert to mesh. And now I'm going to export this guy. I'm going to save it. I'm going to export it. It's probably super high poly, incredibly high poly. Just the selected objects and do a new folder. I'm gonna show you guys Hyperfy just to show you how it is with it. Okay. Okay. Hopefully things won't crash. I have a lot of things open. I'm going to actually close this guy up for now. And while it's saving, I'm going to open up Hyperfy, and once it's loaded, we'll dive in. I'll bring it into my, this was a recent cool game thing I was a part of. So let's bring it into that. Okay. So right now, I'll just save this puppy, and then I'll bring in, let's bring in here's Hyperfy. Uh-oh, I'm not sure if it's showing it anymore. I think it went blank for a little bit. It's still loading. Looks like we're having some technical issues. It's strange, not sure why it's not showing up. I'm gonna check on my phone real quick to see if it actually sees it. Sorry about that, I've been talking this whole time. There was nothing on there. Oh, I think when I closed, here. Let's see if it likes display better. Let me see if it's showing on my... Oh, it is showing on the... See if it's showing on my... It is showing on the... Cool. Well, it's still showing. It's just not showing under the studio. It makes me all paranoid. Let's see. Stream settings, stream health. If you're watching, hopefully it's still going. Okay, so now let's bring in that model that we just did. And I'm going to look for it real quick on my desktop. Let's see if I find it. Hyperfy. There we go. There he is. Okay. So now we can let's make him a little better. You can see how when the meshes are kind of like overlaid with each other. But yeah, now we can actually check it out. And then if let's see what he looks like. There we go, full screen. That looks a little better. So you can see he is now hanging out in my little world. Bigger though, he needs to be way bigger. Make him giant. So then you can check him out how he looks like in a world. And if I want, I can add animation and hair collisions, make him collide. So then you can actually like walk on him. There we go. So now he's pretty big. So you see now if I wanted to, I'm walking on my little creature. So let's go up a little bit. There he is with his funny eyes. You see how it looks? It's let's just stand on some eyeballs here. So there he is. Let's see if I can get my guy to dance. Hold on. There he is. Actually, let's do dance 2. Doing the sexy dance. Let's see if there's a dance 3. There's only, I think there's other dances, but I don't know what they are. Let's do dance. The funny regular dance. So now there it is, from my original sketch to Metaverse. Let's go up. But you can see how cool it looks when you bring them in here, like all the different shapes that we were doing. And then you can kind of get ideas of how you want it to look like. So I think for me, it's a lot of fun when you do like iterations of it really quickly and go back and forth. So right now we're on the head of the bird. Let's fly down the bird. So gives you an idea of what adjustments you might want to make, and obviously we're not by any means done. Kind of looks like glitch art right now. So hopefully it's not giving anybody some weird headaches or anything watching this. But that's it today. Thanks for joining us. Just want to use this as a way to document what I'm working on, what cool tools I think are cool that are fun to use, and hopefully inspire you guys to also try some of these tools out, start building your own stuff. And yeah, well, thank you for watching, and that will be it for today. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and yeah, I'll continue building out this little guy and see what other weirdnesses I come up with. But ideally I want to like have him animated. And I think maybe doing a mixture, like I was saying, of playing in After Effects. Which After Effects is such a beast. Every time I go in there I feel like I don't know anything. Like I learned some stuff and then, but it's a fun way to actually like Woo. To actually get better is by like at least trying, even if you mess up. Because I mess up all the time. But again, there's my little guy. He's the little guardian of this world. And yeah, so next time I'll show you guys what progress I've made. And again, hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. And until next time, bye.